If you're tired of paying what you think are high taxes, in today's Wall Street Journal, Jerry Seib's saying watch for tax-cutting agendas to hit the presidential campaign trail as things heat up. Not only on the Republican platform, by the way, but from the Democrats, too. Are more tax cuts what we need? We ask a couple of folks with a very strong point of view in both directions. Grover Norquist, president of Americans for Tax Reform. Robert McIntyre, director of Citizens for Tax Justice. Now, I just love the names of these firms. I love the names. Grover, I'll begin with you. I presume you've not met a tax cut you didn't like, right?
I can't think of one.
Yeah. So walk us through, and let's talk about the least probable. In other words, why would a Democrat be advocating tax cuts, as Jerry suggests they might come January?
Well, because even the Democrats have to pay some attention to what's happening internationally. The American corporate tax rate, corporate income tax rate, is 35%, add 4% an average of state taxes, 39%. The European average is 25%. How do we compete with Europe with their average tax rate at the corporate level of 25%?
And the only thing is, Grover, and I know that you know this very well, there are $1 billion and one write-offs and loopholes, and so while that number makes a great headline and you can debate it, the effective tax rate, as you know, is substantially lower than that, but that's almost beside the point.
They got loopholes in Europe.
Fair enough.
And we're competing with places like Ireland with a 12.5% tax rate.
So are you suggesting Ireland is going to displace America as the economic force on the planet as a result of their tax policy?
No, but no companies are moving from Ireland here, and some are moving the other way.
Fair enough. Now, on the other hand, Robert, have you ever met a tax cut you did like?
Well, sure.
Name one.
Well, for instance, when Bill Clinton cut taxes on low-income families in 1993, that was a very good thing. When John Kennedy cut taxes, when the top tax rate was way too high, it was 90%, and he cut it to 70%, that was a good thing.
That was 50 years ago.
Well,
I mean, let's,
I haven't seen one of Grover's tax cuts that I like, I'll tell you that.
Say again?
I haven't seen one of Grover's style tax cuts I like, because he always wants to give the money to the people who already have more than they need. And that's
not stealing somebody's money is not giving them the money.
I see, Grover. Well, you are stealing it because you and your pals on Capitol Hill have added $3 trillion to the national debt that my kids and your kids are going to have to pay for. That's stealing it from them, and you're giving it to people who make millions of dollars a year.
I oppose that
Grover,
spending.
Hold on. Yeah, and I don't want to get into a policy conversation. This is not a political network. It's a money network, and so that's why I try to focus the conversation on how tax policy can be utilized to stimulate the economy. Grover, walk us through how you believe your particular version of tax cutting is the most economically beneficial.
Well, there are a couple of very good proposals that have been put on the table. Expanding expensing to all business investment. Fred Thompson started moving in that direction. Very helpful in terms of stimulating the economy. Reducing marginal tax rates to no higher than 25% would strongly help the economy. And indexing the basis for capital gains is something that some of us believe the president could do by executive order.
All right. And now to you, Robert, same question. You want tax cuts for the middle and lower income portions of the economy. How do you believe that ultimately is most stimulative to GDP, basically?
Well, I mean, if you get consumer spending moving, that's what drives the economy. It's most of the economy. But right now, we've got an incredibly stimulative policy. We're funding a quarter of our non-Social Security spending with borrowed money. And we've got to stop doing it. I mean, you've got Fred Thompson, who Grover mentioned, who says he wants to pay for his tax cut plan by cutting Social Security benefits. I mean, that's not a good idea. And I hope Fred Thompson keeps saying it, because people will understand what the Grover and the others' agenda really is.
Okay. I'm not sure if we've reached a conclusion here. This is a tricky one. But Grover, it is a pleasure. Robert, a pleasure as well to have you. Thank you, gentlemen, for participating in the conversation.